Hi guys, we're back at Smash Fishing. We're out at midnight heading down the beach. We've got a lovely swell at the moment, so I'm going to try for bass because I know there's a lot of weed around, and when there's a swell and big tides, there's a recipe for some big ones, so hopefully we can get them. There might be a few squid around as well, and maybe even a lobster if we're lucky, so stay tuned. It's Smash Fishing, baby. Woo! It's another night. I just found this on a beach. I'm going to use that to put my lobsters in ready for banding. See? One man's discard is another man's treasure. Keep that on the boat. Come in handy, that will. Everything's looking good. We got 4-6 winds tonight, and I'm going to go out and see if I can find some bass because we got a really nice swell at the moment. And where there's swell, usually there's some bass around. Be nice to see some lobsters tonight as well. I'm pretty much out for anything. Because we've got storms at the moment, literally anything can crop up. You can find clams on the beaches, bass in the water, lobster roaming or in the holes. You just never know. And this time of year is usually very good for big squid. So I've been keeping my eyes out lately, just hoping for a lucky biggie. Some of the best conditions to find bass is when it's like this. Super weedy in here. But I'm hoping it doesn't get too murky. You want a bit of murk because they won't spook as easy. But then you want to be able to see them as well. So it's a fine line. Hopefully there's some biggies around here. Come on. That water is flying out of here. Look how fast that seaweed's moving. I'm just waiting to see a big silver line come straight towards me. I'm in a giant gully at the moment that connects to the sea, and I've always found that bass will leave this at the last minute. So if you walk up it, sometimes you can see absolute jumbo bass just leaving. First squid of the night. Where's he gone? He moved quick, that one. I think I've lost him. That was a very quick squid. I got away quick. Usually they don't bolt that quick. As soon as the net touched him, he was gone. He wanted nothing to do with that. It's a stickleback. It's quite a big one, that. I think that's the 15 spine stickleback. It's a couple little species of them. I'm gutted we missed that squid. I haven't seen much tonight so far. See a squid and he bolts off faster than what the bass do. I've just found myself a lobster. I'm walking through this really weedy sort of boulder bed. I'm looking for bass. This is perfect bass grounds. And I ended up stumbling across a lobster. That's going to be very close to a keeper as well. Fingers crossed it is. But for now we're just going to keep mooching. It's too good round here for bass not to have a look around. It's going to be very close to a keeper, that one. Lovely to see. Just leaving with the tide as well. And that there, that's a keeper. If I can get my gauge on it. Yeah, look at that. That's dead on the gauge, that. One keeper lobster. Beautiful. It's got hold of my hook at the moment. But I'm over the moon with that. One keeper down, not a big lobster, but it's a snack nonetheless. Let's get it in the foraging bag. Hopefully we'll find some more. This is not an ideal situation. He's got hold of my waders. Oh well, at least he's not pinching me. Let's go find some more. Come on, where's the beast? Hopefully we can find some more underneath all this carnage. We've got loads of low pressure at the moment as well, so The tide just really isn't going out as far as what they gave. But these reefs are perfect for holding fish. This is what you definitely want to be looking for. And also they'll have the odd lobster on as well. Didn't actually expect a lobster, but we got one. I thought that was a bass then. Look at the size of that conger. What a beauty. Oh, I thought that was a big bass. Got me quivering. Come on. Seems to be a little bit of life showing up. Hopefully we can get lucky with a few more bits. I'm so happy I've got a lobster. Got my snack already. There's another squid here. Look at this one. Got him that time. Haha! One squid down. Nice size as well. Good eating size. Nice. I was hoping I'd start finding a few. Hopefully there's more around here. Starting to get on a little bit of a roll here. One lovely squid and a lobster. I'm going to keep them in the bag for now. So I want to slowly just creep my way around this eel grass. Such a relaxing forage tonight. Even though it's blowing an absolute gale, you can still see through the water. And this is eel grass. So for squid in particular, I always tend to stand around eelgrass beds. So they always like to be in amongst where the eelgrass meets the sand. Not a bad squid whatsoever. Starting to rack up a little bit of seafood now. Got one lobster, one squid. Not really seeing much life whatsoever at the moment. There's no prawns, there's no baby cuttlefish. Literally just found a few little bits and a lobster and a squid. That is a giant wrasse. Look at the size of that. Where's he gone? That is a big wrasse. Oh, it's gone, look how big that is. That is a legit monster, that one. For a rocky, that is very big. Look at that. What a chunk. Look at the size of that. That is a prime rocky, that. That's every part of what, 4 pounds I reckon? 4.5 pounds? Maybe even bigger. What a prime fish. I don't want this fish tonight, but I just wanted to give you guys a little show. That's a prime specimen, that. There you go. I'll see you later, my friend. That's how thick it is. Could be close to 5 pounds, that fish. Beautiful. Not the best eating in my opinion, so I always let them go. I'd rather squid and lobster any day. There's a giant ormer just sitting there. Look at that. Can't forage any of these till January. Haliotis tuberculata is the Latin name. The green ormer. That's a nice one as well. I'll leave him under the rock. In January time we'll come and have a look. See if we can pick up a few of those. Come on. Lovely sized prawn. There's just not enough of them. A lot of these bigger prawns, they're all inside of the boulders, so you can't really get to any sort of number of them. Still searching for bass at the moment, right in the wash, but I haven't seen any life of bass whatsoever. But hey, we're getting there. Hopefully we can find some more bits as the tide go down the next half hour, and then we're home for a pickup. Another squid. Yes, we got him. Haha, that's a better one. That's more like it. Wow, that took a while to find something. I have been nosing around here for the last probably 25 minutes. and I haven't seen anything. And suddenly, that's a lovely squid. Look at the size of that beast. Nice. Just going to let him ink out a little bit. We'll get him in with the lobster. Come on, where's the rest of them? It's that time of year where the bigger ones, they should be inshore. So there's every chance of finding another one. But that there, that is a prime eating squid right there. Or for bait. Don't mind whatsoever. Look at that. Always a fascinating creature, the squid. Right, let's get him in the bag. As you can see the lines of eelgrass that breaks the sand. They always seem to be on the edge of this. Whenever I find squid in the bays, it's always on the edge of the eelgrass. I don't know whether they lay their eggs in it or what it is, but they certainly like it. And I certainly like to eat squid. Haha, yum. Yes! Got him! What a beast! That's a beauty of a bass. Oh yeah, baby! Just walking up the beach and shabam! Look at that, that's a 5.5 pounder. Oh my days! I've seen it right up in this little gully. Look at this, I'm in a foot of water. A foot of water. And he came out of here. You can see where it gets shallow and a little bit deeper. So look, that's about half a foot of water. He was right up in here, swimming down. That is mental. Look at the size of that compared to my hand. That is an absolute stonker of a bass. Aye, aye. Oh, I can't believe that. That's a warm welcome after all that walking around. What an absolute beast. I had to get the camera on the tripod for this one. Oh no, I dropped him. That's the biggest bass I've foraged for a while. That's every part of 5.5 pound, that. Could even be close to 6. That is a prime specimen of a bass. Perfect eating size, that one. That is healthy. Look how thick it is. Big along the back, big head. Prime fish. And to get it right at the end of the tide as well, right in literally half a foot of water. Just shows if you're bait fishing for bass, the really shallow water is usually where I find these really big ones. Well, this one's not a giant bass, but this one's an absolute corker for sure. Lovely fish. Good 5 pound, I reckon. I'd give that 5 all day long. Leave it in the comments what you think, guys. That's a beautiful fish either way. And that's coming home with us. What a beauty. This sort of clean sand, you find place and soul in this as well. I've found brill and turbot in here as well, exactly the same spot. They are certainly hard to spot, but not impossible. Usually they'll be on the back side of any sort of like humps like this. Well, I've got my eyes looking for some bass now. That's a prime bass. Lovely to see. Biggest one I've had foraging for a while. You always find when the big squid come in, the big bass follow in with them. Got him. There you go. He was under my foot. That's a brill. Yeah, that's a brill, just as I was talking. This is just what I was saying before. I've had brill and turbot out of here. And that there is a beautiful little brill. Look at that. Inglorious fish and eat your heart out. I'll catch the brill with a shrimp net, baby. What a cool creature. I'm not going to keep it. And all I was doing, I was just walking along and just stepped on it. I knew straight away I had a flatty under my foot, so I just kept my foot on it and then picked it up with my hand. I'll see you later, little buddy. Nice seeing you. Look at that for camouflage. You would never know that fish is there. Look, you can poke them and they don't swim away very far. They'll just move along and that's it. Nice to find a 5 pounder one day. Think I've had my fair share tonight. I'm not really finding much more now. That tide's come up quite a long way. It's one of those, when you start catching, you don't want to leave. So I'm just going to give it another couple of minutes and then I'm going to head out of here. Certainly had a good night. Started off super slow. I didn't think we were going to make a video tonight, and then bam, the species come out of nowhere. 2 nice squid, big bass and a nice keeper lobster. Oh, I'm not complaining with that for a forage. Absolutely perfect. So there's today's catch, guys. An absolute belter of a bass. I'm going to weigh it when I get home. I'll give you guys a show. Then we got 1 keeper lobster. Not a big lobster, but it's a keeper. Then we got a 2 nice squid. That's the smaller one. We got a bigger one there as well. I'm over the moon we found that bass. Look at the size of that beauty. Like, compared to my hand, I think you guys would have seen when I held it up. That is a fine specimen of a basil. Nice. So let's get back to the kitchen. I've got my scales here, guys. It's in pounds and ounces. Let's see what she weighs. 513 on the dot. 3 ounces shy of £6. That is a prime bass. Absolutely prime fish. Look at that. Absolutely delicious. Right, I'm going to get everything packed away now. I'm going to cook up the lobster and then we'll make something tomorrow. I'm not really sure what I'm going to cook up yet. We'll find out in the morning. What an epic forage. Water's almost to a boil now. All I'm going to do is give this lobster about a 7-minute boil. I'm just going to chuck it in now. And then this just cook for a while. Once it starts boiling, I'll give it 3 or 4 minutes and take it out, because this will still keep cooking as it's out of the water as well. So just let that get to a boil, give it a few minutes and we're ready to roll. Must have had a bit of squid ink on it. You can see it floating to the surface there. Water's gone black. Nice fresh lobsters. One tasty lobster. See you guys in the morning. We'll have a nice little snack. We are back in the kitchen, guys. I've got a few ingredients here and I cleaned up a squid. And what we're going to have is some nice squid rings this afternoon. I decided to give the lobster to the kids because I haven't had squid in a while. I really fancy a nice few squid rings. We'll get started on the little breadcrumb mix and we're good to go. So I've just got a few breadcrumbs here, just to add a little bit more crispiness to the squid. Just putting a little bit of that in there. Then a little bit of plain flour. And then any seasonings of your choice. I like loads of black pepper and salt. You can put paprika, chili flakes, whatever you fancy really. A little bit of sea salt. And we'll give it a mix. Get that all stirred up together. That'll give us a nice little crunchy outer coating on the squid. And for the squid, I'm just going to cut that end off. Take that end off. I'm just going to do sort of 5mm thick rings. There we go. Beautifully cut up rings, ready to go. And all of our squid rings, just make sure they're separated and we'll get them in the flour. Not a bad size squid, this one. Perfect eating size. I don't like them too big because I find they go very tough. Where like these smaller ones, around sort of like the £1/2 to £1 mark, they're great eating. There you go. Lovely bit of flour and breadcrumb on that. Don't need nothing special, it's just a light coating to get it crispy. And then in the pan they go. Our oil's up to heat now. What I'm going to do is just lay a few. Try not to overcrowd the pan. Just get a few in there. When they go nice and crispy, we'll put them in the bowl and we'll sort the rest out. Delicious. Looking forward to this. Smelling absolutely delicious. Nice little crispy coat in there, not too thick. Perfect. One more round of squid rings. We're ready to eat. They look absolutely delicious. Just going to put some sea salt over the top, a little bit of sriracha for some dipping sauce. We're ready to go, baby. Yum. There we go, guys. Nice crispy squid rings. Really light breading on them. I don't like too much. Just a tiny little coating. We're good to go. What a delicious little meal. I didn't fancy cooking up a lobster today. Done quite a few catch and cooks with lobster at the moment, so nice bit of squid. Mmm. That's hot. Hot. Ow. That's super soft, that squid. That's delicious. Mmm. Oh, that's lovely. Just a tiny bit of crunch. Really soft, the squid. I did actually freeze this squid overnight. It's good to know. Make sure it was frozen and then I've defrosted it. Because I find any sort of cephalopod, squid, cuttlefish or octopus, like they're always better when they've been frozen. Yeah, good little tip that. What a trip this turned out to be. Started off very slow at the start of the tide, then towards low water we started finding quite a few bits, all the squid, the bass, the flatties. It was awesome. Really enjoyed this forage. It was nice to finally get a big bass again. There was quite a few on the last set of tides. I seen a lot of big bass, but I couldn't actually get close to them. They were all spooking, so it was nice to actually get one this time. Mmm. That's a lovely meal. Super fresh, super delicious. So I won't leave the video any longer, guys. I'm going to finish off this delicious little meal and I'm back out fishing later. So stay tuned for the next episode. If you want any merch, the link's in the description. There's going to be plenty more to come. Smart fishing, baby. Woo! Mmm.